live on Twitch. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome everybody to the Olivon Chronicles. We are, that's not the right title. I got to fix that in the stream, but that's okay. We are doing some interesting things here on the guild this week. Mostly it's kind of stemming around the fact that this is my birthday week.
Oh,
It
Happy
is
belated
indeed.
happy birthday.
I've had a lot of fun with this birthday week because I've been spending money. So the rule that I set for
Also
myself
been
this week.
spending money
Yes, you have been,
on the
and I've
on the birthday boy.
been very thankful. This is just very, yeah, okay. Hey, Glitter Murder, good to see you on there. By the way, yes, you did see it. You got a gifted sub from
Welcome.
Sky Guy.
Ooh.
Yep. So, so for my part, every time a natural one is rolled and used, that is when I am going to throw $5 more at the Roll for Wishes campaign. Additionally, every time a nat 20 is rolled and used, same story. So there is currently $55 in the cauldron, and that's just for this week alone that this is happening. So if you happen to see a nat 1 or a nat 20, feel free to remind me that I have more dollars to throw into that cauldron saying for the Roll for Wishes campaign. And of course, you can donate to the Roll for Wishes campaign as well because it's always much better when there is lots of donations going to help people. Really, sometimes the wishes that are being granted by the Make-A-Wish International Group are sometimes the difference between the quality of life and not having any at all. And there's lots of research out there that shows how important hope and quality of life is for recovery from critical illnesses. So throw some coin if you could, please. That's your birthday present for me if you would like. Throw some coin at the Roll for Wishes fundraiser. That would be great. It's link in the chat as well as on the About section down below. Additional, of course, go for it.
I was conflicted. I was conflicted what to do, to gift you subs or to donate to charity. But you gifted me subs on my birthday, so I thought I would
Well,
return the favor.
oh, you're a good man. And you know what? Actually, the gifted subs does also mean that I am now shopping on Roll20 for my next bunch of stuff. And actually, Wendy J's seniors, the parents, have also helped out with that, which is kind of cool. So we're going to have a whole bunch more stuff in our compendium here very shortly, thanks to them, as well as to Fleur de Spooks, who threw some coin at us for that same reason not long ago. So exciting. But also, the subs, I'm going to keep on encouraging to the Prime subs and such, because it does actually help me fund getting things going for other DMs, and I do expect that we're going to have some more DMs to join the fold soon. So people who are just wanting to learn how to do this and have some fun while doing it, which is great. So and then the side note to all of this, of course, is our other campaigns that we have going on. So on Tuesday, the Witchlight campaign carries on after they managed to survive a swarm of darklings. But they're also got 3 hags they have to face, and they have no chance for a long rest. So I have no idea what's going to happen there. And then the Zelda campaign kicks back off again, 6 p.m. Central next week. And then we're back here for the second session of the Roll for Wishes campaign to be a Beast Keeper, where they're currently trying to convince a family of griffins, perhaps, to join an animal sanctuary. And then we'll be back here with whatever nonsense follows up after this session today, which is where we're going to dive in right now. So, where we left off with the Olivon Chronicles, you guys had, at the behest of Adrix, gone searching for some sort of artifact out in the mountains. Found a kind of a large lockbox with massive dishware and tableware in it, deciding that it was perhaps Giant owned at one point in time after breaking in. Had to deal with some of the things that were also stuck inside, some air elementals. Inside found a pearl that Rook has been able to use to identify certain things, but has also found a large amethyst. And the amethyst, upon touching it, Reese immediately attuned to it, did a little bit of a scrying journey across the plains of Wesmia, and now feels permanently attuned to this thing. Meanwhile, a giant airship across the valley, showing evidence of having been crashed, released, as it were, a cloud giant flying towards you. You A little subterfuge led the giant astray for a bit, thinking that they were finding their quarry, being the very same amethyst we're talking about, was absconded with. So you guys start making your way back to Hillholm, um, with some of you pretty certain that something could happen to the town, and some of you either not caring or just not believing that a giant would go find people anyway. And in fact, the giant did eventually get to town, but not before you took the amethyst back to the person who sent you out in the first place, back to Adrix. Provided it to him for inspection. Let him have a good, solid, long look at it, and while looking at it, he grabbed his belongings and teleported in some way out of the inn and tavern that he had been staying at, and just left with actually maybe a good chunk of his stuff left behind in that tavern. So him having disappeared, you guys heard the giant outside and started engaging with it. Frar, knocked over by a fairly large boulder being thrown by the giant, but still able to be revived by their companions, has now had plenty more experiences with death than he perhaps prefers to experience. And meanwhile, Bob Moss and his swarm of wolves ended up finishing
Bears.
off bears. A swarm of bears ended up finishing off the giant, once and for all, just inside town beside the tavern. And as this battle was ensuing, Jeddah was noticing something falling from the sky through the cloud cover that had been raised by the storm giant and actually used to a certain extent by Bob Moss as well. The creature that was coming down from the sky, having just landed, was a large, massive purple dragon that came flying down, actually folded wings back, making you think it was a meteor at first. And when it finally got close to the ground, unfurled its wings, buffeted you all prone to the ground with the power of its air, um, and landed solidly on the ground, folds his wings back up. And what you see is this massive purple dragon that had the tips of the scales turning slightly white on the edges, but otherwise being largely translucent. Its horns actually almost being suspended, pieces of horns being suspended above itself, as opposed to actually being one long shape extending above and back its head. And it folds its wings back in, keeping its head low. And this is where we are picking up. So with this, you guys don't hear the music at all, do you?
Nope.
Okay, well, I will solve that in a few moments. Actually, I'll solve it right now. Because I know how to. There we go. You'll have some music now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So this is where we pick up, is with this dragon having just landed in front of you, and immediately the sound that you heard of people cowering and hiding in the community turns instead to wails and cries of fear. You can even hear them from inside the houses, as obviously people were watching this whole battle ensue from the safety of their homes. You do, from distant areas of the town, hear people and kind of notice along down other locations that there's people that are scurrying, that were outside watching but are now scurrying back towards the insides. And this dragon kind of lands basically right nearby Rook, Reese, Frar, and Jeddah, and with you guys all in your various locations, and is looking directly at the giant and Bob and his bears.
We're eating the giant at the moment.
Oh crap. I am going to stand up and scurry behind the wall.
Okay.
What now? What now? What now? What is that creature?
And let's
From time
get
to
this
time, I'll
guy
peek
out
out.
here. I'm going to let you guys see him. I have I have not too much intention of this is probably going to be largely theater of the mind, but you better see him anyway. So let's
It's
let
a
you see him.
dragon.
He big. He huge.
Yep, let's get you in there so you can see it. You're gonna. Oh, I didn't get that set up completely yet. Sorry. There's stream.
It's
Oh,
a big
so many
dragon.
buttons today. There we go.
Even Checkers is panicking.
Even Checkers is panicking. Very true. Let's
Checkers
do
is
it this way.
panicking over there.
So, and it looks towards you, and it
Oh.
starts. Now, Jetta, you are like right beside it. What are you doing as you are now right beside it?
I would like to scurry away.
Okay. You guys, I'm giving you
Um,
this opportunity to just immediately react to this massive creature landing
Are
on
we
the
still
ground
in
beside
the?
you.
Are we still in the turn order, or is this out of turn
No,
order
this
now?
this is out of turn order now. I'll clean that up.
Okay.
Do I see? Is Checkers near me?
Is Checkers near you? Where is Checkers? I can't see
Checkers
Checkers on
is
the map
here.
right now.
Yeah, he's
There
like
you go.
next to me, right?
And he's supposed to be here.
All right. I'm gonna go and quickly swipe him up from the air, and then climb over this like fence thing and hide with the bird.
All right, give her done. Go ahead and roll for me. Why don't you? Your, now Jetta, the one that you actually just moved. I apologize. It's
no,
actually
I
your
just
duplicate.
remembered. Can I use my duplicate as like almost like I can't see out of it, but almost like a
No, but you
distraction, so
definitely
I'll
saw
keep
it falling.
as that. Okay.
Well, and from where you're standing, you actually still see the top of this dragon over top of the house that is currently interposing the two of you. So this
Oh, that's
dragon
great.
is massive. You can see him see it basically just looming large over everything around you.
Okay. I feel pretty comfortable with the house in between.
All right. So with that, you watches the dragon folds up its wings and just starts walking its way towards Bob. And at this point in time, I'm actually just going to take us out of the map. I just wanted to let everybody see how big this sucker was. But I'm going to take us off of the map because it's all going to be theater of the mind, I think, for this. Nope, not that's one. We'll go here. So with that, the dragon starts ambling its way over towards the giant now fallen and all of the bears that are currently gorging on it. And as it gets close enough to you guys, Bob, you could look up at it and you would see towering over you this massive dragon lowering its head probably the same size, if not bigger, than one of your bears. And just looks
Me and-
down and just growls.
Me and the bears are just in a blood frenzy at the moment, so he's not even noticing.
Interesting. Okay.
Psst, Frar, come over here.
He's just really just like last time when he tasted blood by accident in his wild shape. He's just going just red in front of his eyes, and just the taste of the blood. He goes, and he's tearing pieces off of the skin of the bear of the giant, really sticking his head in, and all the other bears are joining in of the carnage.
All right. So then I am needing to roll something, I suppose, aren't I?
Is
In
so the
your
dragon is like
head-
next to Bob, right?
The dragon is currently next to Bob. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
That's
Let's see here.
Probably next to a lot of things.
Let's a lot of things. Yeah, next to Bob, all the
Probably-
bears, the
Bob
house
and the
beside
bears.
it.
So are we talking like half of Hill Home size, or?
Well, certainly about the same size as some of the houses. Taller by a long shot. Let's see here. Oh, wow, that was a horrible roll. Can you roll for me, Bob, a Constitution saving throw for me, please? Yeah,
Ooh.
You are in your frenzy, and you do not notice as eventually the dragon actually just starts reaches one claw forward and scoops some of the other bears away, not leaving one of them and you behind to make room for it at the dragon. And the bears The bears themselves now realize what's going on and they're going to stop, but you, still in your frenzy, don't care and you're still tearing in. But the dragon itself, after scooping some of them away, just enough so that it can put its own claw across the torso of this giant, and it drops its jaw onto that giant's head. And with a sickening,
As soon as I see the claw next to me, like a dog protecting his ball, I will
all right, and you hear inside your
prowl up
head,
into the huge giant.
okay, and you hear
Dragon.
dragon, yeah, you hear inside your head,
Down, boy.
I'm gonna like climb over this fence and like sprint towards Bob while releasing checkers at the dragon's blind side to like just kind of get a look at it, I guess, for her. And
okay.
stand beside Bob in defense with my axe ready.
And with as you are moving to get there, with a sickening crunch, you hear the head of the giant collapse under the jaws of the dragon, and the tearing of flesh as he just yanks the head of the giant off of the torso and drops it out and lets it roll away. And then
There's a bear, by the way. When he intimidated me, I walked back a few steps and like just waiting there, like with blood dripping from my face, giving the dragon the time to eat.
All right, and it actually stops. It just rips the head off, takes a few steps back, and kind of looks around. And then inside all of your heads, you end up hearing,
Stop your whining. I'm not here for all of you.
Then why are you here?
What was that? What was that?
What was it after?
it's now looking at you, Frar, as you are the first person to speak back to it.
The relic. It's not here.
What relic?
I don't know. But you won't find it here. It's gone.
Then why did you fight it?
Because we let it here.
Takes a couple of steps back, kind of looks behind itself, and you guys can see it's been slithering its tail between the houses, but it hasn't let the tail touch any of the houses, and kind of takes a few steps back and kind of gets a bit taller and looks around.
Well, I know you're here. If you were out fighting it, you may as well join your bear friend.
Jordan.
Who are you
Jenna will
talking
come
to?
out.
You heard it in your head. So
Everybody's head or just his head?
No, in everybody's head on that one.
Okay, then I charge back into the giant. I think he gave me permission to eat again.
Yeah, pretty much, basically, yeah. And
Well, Bob's eating meat. That's interesting.
there we go. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hang on. There we go. There's Reese. Okay, so Reese, what are you doing in this mix?
Waiting to see if his dragon is just gonna fucking eat us, I guess. I mean,
Are you coming out then at his behest? Or its behest?
do I have to?
It's up to you. No, you don't. It's your call. It's your character.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys all kind of start gathering a little bit around this giant, with Bob the bear and all of the other bears now being basically given consent to go ahead and tear in, Um,
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think the conjure animals is only for a minute. Let me check.
so the bears may disappear here pretty quick.
Only an hour.
Yeah, they're here for a bit. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So it sits back and says,
Why did you lead it here, of all places?
It's a long story. It's a mistake, if anything. We're just here to fix it, and we've had enough trouble with the giants.
and it leans its head down to be basically about the same level as you guys, but because of its size, the head itself from base of the snout to the top of the brow ridge is about as tall as Frar, minimum, maybe a little bit taller than that, and just kind of leans its head down and kind of takes a big. And you hear this big whistle of deep air come into its face.
More here than what you're saying.
Wait, what did he say?
There's more here than what you're saying.
More giants?
No,
Look, there was a fucking wizard and he wanted an artifact and he sent us to go get it and the artifact was a gem and we had the gem and I showed him the gem and he fucking stole the gem and now we need to go find him. So unless you're
I'm gonna
going to
put
help
his
us
hand
do
on his
that,
mouth.
calm yourself, little one. That was enough information for me. A gem, you say? Describe
Yeah.
it.
like you.
It was a
Well, yeah.
purple gem.
Okay, I let it down. I've had enough fun.
I have sharp as fuck teeth. Do you really want to put your fingers anywhere near my mouth?
You also have a long tongue and a big mouth.
I sure do, and I'll use every single one of those things.
I'll rip it out if you try.
Ooh, that
Oh.
Mess with an orc.
I don't know. Do we have a thing going on? Do we need to talk? Look, it looked like you. Frankly, it kind of looked like you. Maybe it was a part of you. Did you shit it out? Was it a bit of your tail or something that chipped off? A horn or
Not this
something?
time.
No.
Nothing a wizard would find interesting. Merchants, perhaps, but not wizards.
Okay, well maybe he's secretly a merchant on the side. It seems like a really convoluted way to get product for your stores, but
You're concerned about this wizard.
yeah, the bastard stole from me, and I defended him. And he's probably going to do something bad with it, I guess.
Either way, you won't find him or the gem here.
Kind of lifts its head back up off the ground and kind of raises it up a little bit high, actually exposing a lot of its neck region, kind of giving you the sense that it is not worried about you, at the very least.
Attack.
Hi, I'm Jenna.
Here to clap.
Giants are no
Oh,
longer
great
a
purple
concern.
one. You seem to know a lot about this gem.
Not enough. The giants are no longer concerned. You can tell all the other ones to stop wailing. You killed the last one. I got the rest.
The last one? The last giant?
Nobody's wailing. As a
Roll a
woman
perception check.
screams in the background.
Yeah. And as
This
she
isn't the
screams,
place
and you
for
actually hear her
that.
scream in the background, you can actually roll me an insight check there, Reese.
You know, I would love to do that just as soon as Roll20 decides to give me back my
Sure.
character sheet.
Yeah. So I can actually assist with that just a little bit if you so choose. I can
No, I
get
got,
you to
I got
roll
it. I got it.
Oh, you do have it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I can find those
well,
stats for you.
What am I rolling? Insight?
Insight, please. Yep.
It's slow for you, or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roll20 has been super sketchy since they did the Windows update last week.
Yeah, but you should update your Chrome. If you go
Between
to
that and
about Chrome, and then it will auto update to the latest version.
Yeah, I've actually done that
Then,
too, and
yeah,
it's still
already.
super sketchy for me too. So
It's still a
there's other
little bit
things.
laggy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
With a
Anyway,
15,
it's working for
you are
now.
going to with a 15, you are going to see that it is one eye almost kind of does this little weird little twitch every time you hear a scream in the background, and it says to you,
We can talk. But not amongst these wailing bipeds.
Fine. Outside then.
You really need to work on your people skills, mate.
Aren't we outside?
Outside,
And it just-
outside. This isn't the time
it
to be
turns
Where's
it
outside?
turns
Outside of
fun.
the
and
Outside the
starts
city.
walking
Oh,
walking
village.
back out towards the south end of the town, and just kind of like stepping briefly stepping over top of boulders and things that have already been knocked over. The shed that was completely obliterated by the giant, he just kind of steps on his way around. But aside from that, it's actually very careful to not actually touch any of the other houses, and it starts walking out towards the edge of the forest, and it has to work really hard to weave in amongst the trees, and it just ends up knocking a few of them down anyway. But it's
Do you
trying.
mind if I ride you, sir?
What? You can't.
Whoa!
Yes, I mind. And it's not, sir.
That's what she said.
Follow.
That's how Dragonborns are made.
can I?
Jeez.
That's hilarious. Can I ask something to the dragon?
Yeah, go for it. How are you going to do it, by the way? Outside or in your head?
Outside.
Okay.
Outside, outside.
Outside, outside.
Okay.
So I'll just say, this is an awkward question to ask, with just meeting and everything. But with you being purple, and I see some resemblance between us. Are you my dad?
It pauses as it's looking in the trees. Just looks over it like it's got his back to you. This by this point, kind of cracks through a tree, stops, looks back at you, and you can actually see the people's eyebrow, and then just turns back
Yes.
and starts walking back into the forest a little bit further.
You know, 2/3 of this group knows what the people's eyebrow is.
I will pick up my
So-
broken bow and follow him along.
I'm gonna nudge Rook and say, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've seen a dragon. I don't want to fight it.
Same here. I didn't know that these guys could be really, really huge.
I didn't know they could talk. In my
Really?
head.
Really? You didn't know dragons
Go
were
on.
big? You didn't know dragons were big, love?
I've heard of smaller dragons.
Yeah, I've only read about them in books, but I've never actually seen one.
You ever seen a bearded dragon? I had a
A
pet
bearded
once.
dragon. I think I've read about
Bob.
them in biology books.
Bob, in your head, as he's just kind of starting to, just before the people's eyebrow, I'm going to say this is what happened.
I'm not alone. I didn't come along.
You did come. Hey,
You did come along?
No, Bob. In that whole conversation, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. As soon as his belly would have been full of meat, he would have been getting nauseous. On his hand and feet turned back from a bear into himself, and right away, like threw everything out again, like throwing up, because his stomach is not used to it. So I would basically be being sick in the village. I didn't walk along with the giant, or with the dragon. Why do I keep saying giant?
Well, and the dragon
It
will
is a
actually
giant
say
dragon.
it is a large, very large dragon, but it is the dragon. After you're done retching, will actually have paused long enough to say,
there. That's better. Join. When you're ready.
I will let myself be pulled up by my bears and join. Basically, they're carrying me along. So I
Bear
can
brothers.
bear brothers.
I love it. Bear pallbearers almost. Anyway, the you guys, the dragon just kind of starts weaving in. It is trying to be very careful about knocking down trees, but it is highly unsuccessful considering its girth. And so you are able
Why'd
to
you have to
Watch
say
the
that?
trees, dude. Watch the trees.
You
You
cannot
Trees have
ignore
feelings
its girth.
too.
I chose the
No.
word on purpose for you, Dick, just so you know. Okay, anyway.
Of course, you
walking
for a guy named
into the
Dick.
trees, you guys have a very easy path to follow it. And after about 10 minutes, it kind of stops and kind of curls around. It tucks its tail a little bit closer into its body and wraps its tail around itself, and then settles down, puts its forepaws down onto its tail, and gets its head down low. It says,
That's better. Fewer voices.
Now that we're alone, what is going on here? Wizards, relics, giants. What is this?
Uncertain. But I don't like giants flying over my home.
And I don't like wizards. Sorry, go on.
I don't trifle with two-footers often. But those giants, they had something about them.
damn it, Bob, I can't do the voice and laugh at the same time.
So like, oh man, make him a pet. I'll call him Glitter Murder.
Don't you also have reduce? Jenna?
Glitter Murder, you have a name. Okay.
No.
Oh,
And Jenna's like mesmerized by this dragon, so she's like,
Glitter Murder fits, man. I'm saying right
Same.
now, his name gotta be Glitter Murder.
Now that he's pretty confident that this dragon's probably not going to kill them, he's just, I mean, it's a giant fucking gemstone. Like, this is the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. Now that he knows it's probably not going to kill him and eat him.
Clearly,
Maybe.
he hasn't seen Far Naked.
I should have
Not yet. But-
given some
Yet.
channel points when the dragon first appeared, so he would have had the goblin voice.
I don't know I can do
Hilarious.
both. I don't think I can do both at the same time.
Goblin
I don't have that
dragon.
setting. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh no.
And stop your whining. Be afraid, very afraid. Please don't let that giant in my dragon
Oh,
home.
no.
forest.
I regret all of the things. Okay, so
Welcome
but
to
the
my
dragon
horde.
looks to you and says,
It was after a gem.
Now just hear the one.
Just a
The-
single gem, yes.
Yes, the
"Damn
giant
it,
was.
you guys."
We're ruining the monologue.
I know, it's kind of a serious moment. Can we focus?
Oh my
Can we-
gosh. All right, here we go. So, okay,
It was after a gem, which I think it might have been. I don't know what it was doing. It was flying overhead with a horde of those large, stupid creatures.
And you said it flew over your home?
Yes.
And you
with that much
defeated
power,
the rest of them.
yes.
Ooh,
What
the
do you
giant.
know of the wars?
The wars the war between dragons and giants, you mean?
No such war. The war between giants and the rest of the realm. Regardless, these were warrior giants flying over my home, and they are not bringing war here.
Yeah, I
And what
think that's
about
exactly what they're doing.
the wizard? He wants something from them, so
Now that is the question. That is a pawn in the grand scheme that I don't understand yet. Tell me about this wizard.
Oh, what's his name?
I
Reese.
sighed Iris.
Reese, you've seen his cock. Tell him about it.
Oh my god!
Tell him how much of a dick he was.
You've seen his nuts.
I absolutely have not.
But you want to.
I absolutely do not, and if I do, it's only so that I can kick them repeatedly.
Well, you've been spending a lot of time with him.
I'm not either, particularly with this one anymore. Look, he's a fucking. He was an elf, right? He was an elf. He had a face and hair, and it was kind of nice. And he was a scholar of some kind. Adrix was his name. Didn't tell me much about himself in the short amount of time that I spent with him. We mostly just kind of studied his studies.
His studies.
Oh my god!
And you...
Well,
just go ahead. Just no. Get it out of your systems. I'm so sorry. Repeat yourself.
You know nothing of what he was studying?
Very, very, very little.
We know he's dedicated to it. He had maps, research, stayed here for, I don't know, years, months, maybe.
We did one job for him, and then he kept manipulating us afterwards, saying that he resurrected our friends from the dead, and we should be grateful, and shouldn't request money for jobs. All that bullshit.
It turns his head to you now. Unbeknownst to you, Frar and Bob, you guys have both kind of gravitated to sitting beside each other, whether you realized or intended to or not. And the dragon actually turns his heads to the two of you and says,
"Well, that makes more sense."
What
does I say as I hold Bob's hand?
Yes.
You're such an asshole.
Damn it. Okay.
I was going to ask what happens to you to make you go into that bloodlust. Doesn't suit your kind.
Oh boy. It happened before when I turned into like a ferocious animal. I don't like turning into animals, to be honest. I've only done it one time before, and then I even attacked one of my friends. It's like I can't control the animal instinct that comes up.
There is something I'd like to point out. Orcs often fall into frenzy. I fall into frenzy. You are not an orc.
What do you do to prevent it?
You train. You take control of it. Wield it with your mind.
I think last time you...
His problem. He has not the control over his mind.
Then I will show him. But either way, that's a different topic.
Not
No.
necessarily.
Well, here's the
You
thing.
tell me that it disgusts you to eat animals, and you have no interest in hurting your friends. It's an honorable view, but your demeanor does not match. What happened?
Well, as you can see, I'm not totally blue anymore. I have some red on me.
And this isn't paint.
Me and my friend Frar here, we kinda died, and We got resurrected, but our minds got like melted and then pulled apart, and it's like there's pieces of him in me and pieces of me in him.
Yay,
As
explosions.
the tail smacks against the ground. Amistori, good to see you. Thank you very much.
And so, it's only because the wizard screwed up the spell.
You think he's
Well-
a necromancer?
Technically, Jeddah did it, I think.
Hello.
Yeah, but the scrolls came from Adrix, who gave it to us as a reward
Did you
for
read
sending
it?
us on that quest.
That's
Actually,
true.
no.
He did have a hand in our resurrection, that's right.
He gave us
So
the
he turns
scrolls.
his head over to Jeddah. Says,
Something's amiss with you, too.
What do you mean?
It's a gift. Many of my kind understand. We see through the visage you present. Lesser minds have a difficult time at controlling their exteriors.
Show him your dick.
Oh, for you, how does our friend Reese look like?
Reese, what form are you in right now?
We're still in the city. He's human.
Just outside of it. Just
yeah,
outside
yeah,
of the
yeah,
city.
yeah. We just left, but I mean, yeah,
Okay.
we were in the city. Yeah, he was in his human disguise.
Oddly, they seem to be the most understandable of all of you.
See that? The wizard liked me. The dragon likes me.
So,
Dragon likes you because he understands
I like
why
you.
you hide your face.
Oh, that's sad.
hmm,
I'm sorry.
I don't
It's
think
a kindred spirit.
And as the dragon says that, you start to see the whole form of the dragon start to kind of shift and shimmer, and the purple scales start to lighten and pale and turn into almost a whiter skin, but not really. More of a flesh tone after a fashion, and it
I
starts
hope
to
he's not
shrink
naked.
over time and settles down into this absolutely gorgeous, long raven-haired woman wearing a opulent purple dress, standing
person.
in front of you as a human
With clothes?
Whole
with
person.
clothes.
I'd hope so, yeah.
Yep. With
He
clothes.
said an opulent purple dress that I'm honestly quite envious of. Where did you get that? I mean, I
Gonna
guess you
flick my
probably just
hair back.
magicked it up now.
Who are you? And how did you do that?
that's
More
cool.
like, how are you?
What's your name?
As I said, I understand. Sometimes you need to keep certain appearances to not cause everybody to scream in your brain.
Could have done that earlier.
Different reasons, but understanding, nonetheless.
Wait, you didn't want to make a scene?
And you came in as
So-
a dragon.
In
Are
this
you
case,
a
I
dragon
did.
or are you a woman?
Yes,
Are you what they call dragon
A
boy?
drama queen.
a dragon queen.
Drama
Dragon-
queen, I said.
Oh, drama queen. No, not so. Not so.
So you're not my
I
dad,
am-
but you could be my mom.
Yes, you are
Yes, you
definitely
go.
troubled, dear. Here's.
Please
But
forgive
I
my
understand.
companions.
Oh, there's. I'm quite used to.
So
your
many
friends,
questions.
unfortunately.
I think there's one brain cell between a lot of them, and they entrusted it to me, so I've got all the brain cells at any
Who
given
asked
time.
you?
Wait, that's not true. I gave mine to Rook.
Yeah, she gave it to me.
Did
Wait.
I?
You just
Are you
asked
delegating my
me
brain cells?
5 minutes ago. You just
Do you
asked
want
if
me
a
to change
dragon was
back?
big.
No, it's okay.
Like,
No,
it's,
no,
I
I
can
mean,
do that.
totally up to you.
In the town I grew up in, it's customary to politely say your name when you meet somebody.
That's true.
Understood. My name is Sathalin.
Huh?
They fall in.
That's a pretty.
I'm gonna
Sathalin.
call you Lynn.
I'd rather if you were to
PH.
to truncate my name.
I'm not
I
going
think
to
I
try
would
and
rather
be
you
nice.
call me Amelie.
Emily.
I like
That's
Lynn.
what other bipeds know me as.
I see. Well,
So,
nice to meet you, Emily. I am Rook.
Reese.
I'm Bob. Bob Moss.
Jenna.
Brar.
That's Reese. He likes rice.
Yeah, Reese. I said I'm Reese. Hi, Reese. You're very
So
lovely.
you have been flummoxed by a wizard,
Yeah.
which is not
That is
uncommon.
right.
I'm sorry to tell you.
Which we want revenge, by the way.
No, it's,
You do-
Off
let's
with his head.
Is that what you want? Is the revenge?
Well,
Yes.
absolutely. But let's be fair. You lot weren't flummoxed. You didn't trust him. You didn't like him. You didn't believe anything he had to say. I was the one that came in like an idiot.
You can
and-
also add, I want to kill him.
Yeah, but you gave the gem to him, Reese.
And that's the part that I'm concerned about. Is this gem that seems to grab Giant's attention to fly over my home, then grab your attention, which is why I really brought you out here. To determine what your actual intents are. Away from
Well, I
all those
mean-
innocents in town.
In
I
terms
would
of
just be worried that the wizard would do something bad with it. We didn't really know much about it when it got taken away, so it just seemed powerful, though.
I think
Well-
Reese has more of a connection with the item. I
I
want the head.
I kind of identified that gem back then. If I remember correctly, it's an amethyst of wishes. It has like several powerful spells inside.
An
And
amethyst
it's
of the
currently-
witch.
Yes, it is. Have you heard about it?
Well, the wish, indeed. Have you heard of... Do you understand the implications behind anything that has to do with a wish?
Just a fallen star.
Do I?
Grants a wish.
Go ahead and roll a history check, Rook. And this reminds me, I gotta pull up my notes.
And we just gave it to the wizard.
Alright.
I told you guys, you gotta trust with Frar's intuition. Violence first, kill first. Talk
We
later.
knew he was a dick.
This is slow proof that the Frar method always works.
Okay,
You
so
didn't
with your
trust
history
Adrix at the
check.
start.
17, yeah. So in your studies in Sunbelt, which you were forced to do, you do recall a fairly important piece of history that long ago, at the beginning of the Fatherless Age, the part of the big things that happened at that time, in that first year of the Fatherless Age, was gods were given portfolios. And Aethin, who is the main god that is worshipped or revered, I should say, in Sunbelt, the Fine Weaver was given to the portfolio of magic, and his first job as the Fine Weaver was to ban the wish spell. No details how, but he did ban it.
I've only heard about the wish spell before in my studies, and it's not possible. No, it's not possible. That couldn't
Today,
be.
today that is true. It is currently not possible. But I hesitate with artifacts that are named after impossible things.
And we just gave it to a wizard.
Indeed. So again, I ask, what are your true intentions?
Well, something
Us?
that powerful we should try to get back, right?
It was.
Yes.
Should we? I don't
To
see
get
how
it
it's our
away
problem.
from, and
It's our
to get it
problem.
away from
It has to
the
do with the
and
wish.
before it falls into the wrong hands, which it clearly did.
What if he wishes for, let's say, for example, our world domination?
What if
Wait a
he
second.
wishes for more cake?
Adrix was
I don't
working for
think he
someone.
would.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
he mentioned that he had a patron, right?
Yeah.
He mentioned it was a woman.
He's a scholar. Of a woman. You know nothing else of his studies?
I'm looking for an archive, like an ancient lost archive that may or may not exist, and he was pretty interested in that.
Okay, Reese, roll
Wait.
me a persuasion check.
Wait, Reese, you've been in his study a long time. Did you see anything out of the ordinary?
I don't think anything was necessarily weird. He didn't let me look at his he had a lot of paperwork he wouldn't let me look at.
Damn.
It's a bit,
Always saw something else he didn't want you to look at.
bit dodgy about some of his notes.
Do you remember anything of his notes?
Fuck. Artie doesn't.
Okay, hang on. Artie doesn't, but Reese does. And so the one image that you have still etched in your head is the one that you also
nuts.
saw in your scrying vision, that astrolabe.
Oh, the yes. The weird. It's like a bowl made of balls. Do you have a picture of it?
Okay,
A
so
ball made of balls.
I'm going to let's just say you describe it to the dragon. Simply enough. Yeah, okay. And the
Are we
dragon
still
said,
talking about the ball?
Yep.
It's a little bit wrinkly.
"Oh God."
You're
Okay. Anyway,
really obsessed with balls. Is there something you'd like to say to the class?
I'm gay. What do you expect?
Okay, well that was
There
a
we
lot
go. There we
easier
go.
than I thought it was going to be. Well, congratulations for that. I'm very proud of you.
There we go.
I care about you no matter what. You're
There we go.
wonderful just the way you are. Can we continue?
Yes, the dragon says, dragon, safely, Amelie says to you, that might be familiar. You said you were looking for
Wait.
an archive. Crystal Rock, by
Before
any
we
chance?
say anything more, what is your intention? Just to save your people, or
Well,
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
putting entirely too much trust in a pretty face yet again. What the
thank
fuck
you.
is your part in all of this? What do you want?
what
I
do you
want
want
not to
now
have to
that
worry
you know
about my
that it has
home.
something to do with a wish?
I want not
Insight
to have
check.
to. Yeah, go ahead, roll it.
I'm
I
gonna
want
do
to
an
not have to
intimidation
worry about
test.
my home.
Or no, not yet.
I
What does
trust
that
her.
mean? Elaborate.
Same. Emily looks like a pretty
Yeah,
trustworthy
that's
person.
fair.
And
Sure,
not just
yeah, okay.
because
okay.
I think she's my mom.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, you guys all can do one if you want. I'm game for it because this is a damn big moment at the moment right now. Bob is the one who is really gonna get into this. So I'm gonna mute everybody else.
Oh shoot!
So hang on, I gotta remind myself how I can do this. Bing.
I
Make
can.
this.
Do you want us to not hear?
I
can do
will.
that myself.
I can also do that too. So I'm just gonna do that real
Okay.
quick. You're still gonna be able to hear it on the stream. Let's be real. But anyway,
I'm not watching that.
where's
I can't
my
do that. At the same time.
deafen. Where's my deafen things? There's my deafen things. So we are going to deafen. Nope. I don't need to deafen myself. I need to deafen everybody else. Here we go. So, Bob, with your 20 on that roll, which was the DC for what you would have needed, actually, you get the sense that she's actually doing a job interview. She wants you for something. Not really certain what, but she wants you for something. All right.
Back. I can hear.
And she says, I want.
Why do I get the feeling that you need us to do something?
Because I'm old.
They always want us to do something. Getting
You're
a bit
not.
tired. Getting a bit tired of it, to be honest.
I don't trust the old.
The woman in Claymouth wanted us to do something. Then this Adrix dude wanted us to do something. Now this dragon lady wants us to do something. No doubt.
You've been hurt. What do I need to do to show to you that I have no interest in harming you?
Fix
Well,
my stuff.
Okay, explain to me what this is.
Oh, sorry, Ike. I have a staff. It's from the old tree from my village and given by my mother. It was broken in the resurrection process, and ever since I've felt disconnected from nature.
This is why you hold yourself in that unnatural way. I see. Well, lay it out for me.
Well, it's already bound, so I bound it together with twigs and vines. So. Lay it on the
bad.
floor, or I stick it in the ground, like up straight,
All right.
like a stick.
If you can convince me, you and your friends, that you're not in this for power, you're not in this for the same thing that Kaganet is interested in, and just domination, then a show of good faith, I will show you how I can help you.
can you track down the wizard?
That I can't. Well, that's not entirely true. I could, but it would take me away from my home. Sorry.
Wait,
Trying to get this fixed.
you mentioned Kaganet?
Yes, the Kaganet.
The Kaganet, the giant warmonger.
That's the one.
I thought
That's who these giants worked for. That's who
Wait,
these
I
giants
thought
fought for.
the wars ended hundreds of years ago.
Oh,
Isn't
that
it,
was just the
like
ones
the-
in Sunbelt.
Isn't that like the deity for the furbolgs?
No, this is not the deity for the Furbolgs. You guys would, Furbolgs would work, if there was a deity for the Furbolgs, it would be a different giant. This one is, the Furbolgs would probably consider a usurper god. But she says, no, those are just the ones that happened in Sunbelt, which I presume is where you're from. No, there are continued wars far to the north. In the areas of the old Balola, I believe you call it Castaseria now.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, thank you for the request for consent.
So, let me start by saying I would like the help, just because I don't trust Adrix, and if something that powerful is in his possession, we should probably fix that. But you're the only person who seemed to know who I am. And I don't know who I am.
I don't rightly know your source. I know where you've arrived, which you probably know too.
Yeah,
The
I
Underdark.
woke up in a cave one day.
Indeed. How you got there still eludes me. But I have access to knowledge, which... And she turns her head to look at you, Reese, which I think you understand is not common to have access to knowledge.
I do.
But you've already heard of Crystal Rock, which leads me to believe that you would not misuse it. You only find out about Crystal Rock if somebody believes that you value knowledge.
I'm a purveyor of stories of histories of epic adventures, the tales thereof through song and the written word, and I feel like it's important to spread knowledge around. I don't seek it for my own personal gain? I mean, I suppose in some little way I do stand to gain from finding this place, but that's not what drives me.
Believe you. And for that reason alone, am I even considering becoming a helper to you, becoming a patron. And she turns over to Bob and looks at Bob's former staff of the Woodlands. And she just kind of looks at it, looks to you, Bob. You are certain you're accepting of my assistance?
Well, the only reason for me that I feel an urge to go home is to, or at least back to my forest, is to fix my stuff. So if that trouble is out of the way, then I see no reason but to follow my friends.
That on its own is honorable enough, too. And she reaches out and she grasps the staff and just holds it for just a few brief moments before you start to notice the bindings that you used to lash the whole thing together start to kind of stretch and snap and start to fall away. And your staff, still in shards, now sticking out of the ground, maintains its general shape despite being in shards. It's kind of strange. It looks like each of the pieces is being held and suspended in place by nothing and yet actually still holding its shape. And her hand around the staff as the lashings float away seems to be holding and gripping onto it strongly, and yet no contact seems to be made between her flesh and the wood itself. Shards also in between her hands. And then she lets it go. And there it stands, sharded and defying gravity. Not sharted. Come on, Reese. Sharded. I guess it's bad that I also heard it, so whatever.
Yeah.
After the fact.
And she gestures to you. It might not be exactly as it was, but it will certainly help you on your path. And it certainly carries the spirit of what it was. Maybe then it can help you bring your spirit back to you.
So how does it look now?
So it looks basically like much like her horns, where there's chunks of her horns that are just kind of suspended over her head and yet moving as if solid with her. So your staff,
Okay.
it's still in
So there's
pieces, yet
gaps
being
in-
held in place, and gaps in between the shards.
Wait. So will I be able to tap into nature again?
Go ahead and try.
As I grab the staff that is standing vertical up, grab it with one hand, and suddenly it starts to expand and grow into a big oak tree. As you see a tear coming into Bob's eyes
I'm getting wood.
from seeing
She
his
says-
tree grow.
It's okay. Sometimes I cry when I get wood too.
Chills are growing.
Oh God, that took a turn. Okay.
It's working again, and
What time of day is it?
I uncontrollably give her a hug.
Oh,
Aw.
right. Right, okay.
Thank you. This
Like
means
I
a lot.
said, it's not going to be the same, and she's patting you on the back. It's not going to be the same, but it's certainly going to have the spirit. I suspect you might notice something doesn't quite work the same, so I would experiment with it and find out what does work and what does not work.
I will use it and train it and guard it with my life.
And then,
Before we accept anything, what comes after, I mean, I think We need to talk a little bit alone, me and the group.
That I understand, and is probably wise. But before you do that, allow me to explain what my pact with you would include. First, understand, I am not much longer for this realm. I've been here for far too long already. And it is best...
What realm do you come from?
Well, this one, but age
She's gonna
is a bit...
die. You
No.
continue, please.
Actually, yes. And if I can hand this realm off to those who would steward knowledge, if I can hand this realm off to those who would protect instead of dominate, then it's a life well lived. And I'm close.
All this for knowledge?
Oh no, the knowledge is taken care of. And she looks immediately over to you, Reese. The knowledge is taken care of. It's the protection I concern myself with now. As soon as I
This
hear...
is a little bit too much that you're asking of us right now.
Well, that's why I tell you, before you go and have a conversation with your colleagues, understand what I leave with you. Should you prove yourselves to be capable of protecting by finding this amethyst of the wish, then you will find that you will all enjoy benefits, as this one has.
Will it give a lot of experience?
A great deal of experience, but more so, people who spend time with an amethyst dragon tend to leave with something infused in them, as your staff now has something infused in it. Beyond that, I also understand you need to get places and you need to spend coin. I understand you all need coin. It's a
Are you giving us a
bipedal thing.
ride?
I wouldn't give you a ride, but I would give you the coin to purchase your own.
I think Rook
Where
wanted
would
to
it be
ride
coin?
you.
That was just for a moment, just to get out of the forest, but that moment has passed.
I appreciate that. I
Shotgun.
don't let people ride me.
You can always sit on my shoulder, Rook.
There, I'll take you up on that offer.
But understand that there would be...
This is getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be support. And it would be support because I would not leave my home.
So all we have to do is look for this amethyst of the wish, bring it back to you, save the world.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to save the world. I don't know enough about it, but it's certainly going to help us understand what's going on.
Very well. Sounds
Should
hard.
we be worried about this war that the giants are holding?
Only if they are stupid enough to fly over my home again.
I'm still confused where your home is.
In the mountains.
Sorry. In the mountains, okay. Thank you.
To the north?
That will be part of the reward, if you will, for your good efforts. I know this one, she points to Reese. I know this one would truly like to see my home.
And
He likes to go home with everybody anyway, so...
He likes to see everything.
Do we have your consent that Jedi sends you messages through magic? If we need to contact you.
I can put you on my text chain.
Exactly.
She says, sparingly.
Okay. That I can hold too.
Turns to you, Bob, says, use it wisely. As you said, they are your friends. And even through your troubled times, they were there for you. Don't forget that.
I guess you're right.
No.
It does feel like a family.
Apparently,
Speaking
you're
of-
looking for a mother, and I think perhaps I should leave at that point. The... Oh, my
Just me.
apologies. You were going to say something, Reese. Roll a persuasion check.
Nobody will believe us otherwise.
Well, since everyone's asking about gifts, well,
Are we telling people?
no, let's not.
Jesus.
Oh,
I mean, even
what
if
are
we
we going to
told
tell the people
anyone-
in town then?
Yeah, even if we told anyone, they might not believe us.
That might actually be to my benefit, unfortunately for you. However, amongst the gifts, I could see if I've lost one or two here or there.
Now,
Yes, you would know. Now,
if
I
that's
will
all-
also suggest to you, I apologize, Frar, I understand that you are chomping at the bit, as it were, but I will suggest to you when you talk to your town's friends, I like them there. They provide a natural barrier to my home. And if they
He's-
continue,
he says that she
this is a
blows it up.
raid.
Celebrating
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
started
boom, boom, boom.
raiding.
That's right. Hey, we're gonna do the
Corsair.
shout out here right now. So we have Corsair's Cove coming in.
Welcome.
I appreciate that
Oh,
so
we're
much, you
raided?
guys. Thanks for joining us. So we have 18
Hey.
people jumping in here from Corsair's Cove. So for those of you who are jumping in from Corsair's Cove, you are just chiming in at the tail end of the party making a pact with an ancient amethyst dragon, which is exciting for the DM at the very least. So thank you guys very much for jumping in here. And Josh the Pirate following in here right behind it as well. Thank you very much.
Pirate.
I love it. Josh the Pirate. Hey, I will put this out, Corsair's Cove, just because I'm trying to raise some funds, so I'll let you know about it. There is a fundraiser we're trying to do as well, so if you feel so inclined as to help make some wishes happen for the Make-A-Wish International, they would definitely appreciate it.
Another pirate.
Aztecs! Good, there's a... Well,
Aztecs
not...
again.
This is... Aztecs, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so...
Almost same as Esther.
with some potential interruptions that I'm okay with,
Matrix.
Amelie is going to say to you, when you speak to the people in town, they may not believe you. And as I said, that would be to a benefit, as this one would tell you, gesturing to Reese, this one would tell you not many are permitted to learn of my home. And that's the way I would rather it kept. Which is why there's one airship less of giant kin nearby.
Oh, so that airship belonged to the giants.
Oh yes, that's how they travel for war. It's particularly problematic for them.
Airship?
They had. And she kind of gives a
Yeah,
little bit
you
of a
know.
wink.
Maybe if you wanted them
Good
there,
job.
you should not have appeared as a dragon.
And well, it worked for what I needed it to work for. I did not know you had already killed the giant. And so I wanted to make sure I made a show of protection and strength. But I didn't want them to know of me as this form.
I see. I getcha.
And if you were actually not as you are,
Not
then having you separated from the town would be to my benefit if I had to end you. And thankfully, I don't. And
That's
she goes to
comforting.
her side and kind of unties the satchel. She says, "This is kind
What
of
do
a
we do?
side effect of where I live, and I think you would find benefit from it. I would also suggest, if you really want to know about your wizard, go see where he lived." And passes the satchel over to you, Frar. And said, and you open up the satchel just to peek inside, and you do see a pile of amethysts in there.
hot damn.
It's not coin, but perhaps you can convert it to whatever it is you bipeds need.
Thank you. Wow. Well, she just said that we should check out his place, which is the second floor of the inn. I thought you were the smart one here. To our knowledge, no. Nope.
Rook, you hold on to this.
Me?
Yes,
You sure about that?
very sure.
All right then. Thanks.
Doesn't want to carry it.
I'll make sure this doesn't get stolen or anything.
You're ranged. I'm sure you'll stay
And
away.
Amelie does a quick little look at you, Rook, says, I feel like if that's a challenge, you should perhaps pass it off again. Nonetheless, I am going to depart from you. As you said, you can connect with me, looking to you, Jeddah, sparingly. When you have word, please feel free to share it.
I have a list of best friends, and you just made it.
Glad that was the effort I needed.
Yeah, of course. She quickly adds Reese to the list so he doesn't feel bad.
All right. She's going to say, I think with that I'll take my leave. To keep
What
my
do we do?
guys.
We
That's
haven't
up to you.
decided yet.
You will figure it out if you are to be the right ones for what I need. And you immediately see as
So,
her form
contact
starts
you.
to shift from her raven hair seems to kind of fold up back into shape of horns that start to glimmer purple, and her whole form starts to move from that flesh tone from top to bottom down into the translucent purple scales that she was before, and her form gargantuan sizes itself again, and she does a little bit of a shake. And in your heads this time you hear,
I ask a last favor.
What is it?
Would you like dispose of the big giant corpse in town? It will be a lot of work for us to chop that down and grind it and dispose of it.
roll persuasion check for me.
That is so cool. I gotta learn how to do that.
And there's a 1 for your.
So for those of you who just
Donation.
rated in, those of you who just rated in, the deal is for every nat 1 or nat 20 used, I have to throw in, because it's my birthday week, I have to throw in $5 more, and there it is. $60 now into the cauldron towards a roll for wishes. That's kind of cool. Yeah. And and in the chat right now too is also a link where you can put some of your own donation to it if you feel so inclined. Appreciate it. So with that, she looks with that nat 1 builds. Sorry, wrong one.
Bill's character.
And she flaps her wings and just buffets the ground. You can see the trees bend from the pressure of her wing blast as she launches back up into the sky and flies away.
I know, she's definitely my mom. So cool.
Well,
See,
we
this
have
would not
the,
have happened if we did not have engaged the giants, so.
I think we should.
Yeah,
get
aren't
to
you
the
guys
tavern.
glad that the giant went to the town? All things considered.
Let's not.
Which would not have happened if we murdered somebody in Claymouth.
Wow. Well,
Try
let's
to overdo each other again.
let's all head to the tavern and talk about this. I don't like being out here.
Yeah,
Let's get
while
some
we're there,
drinks.
let's check out where Adric stayed too. And sell these amethysts. Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Be right back.
So you've all decided.
Well, I'm all for
I'm in.
helping out Emily.
You're not suspicious at all.
There's just random amethysts. There's
Compared-
like fallen off.
You know how we got here, right?
Well, we walked, I imagine.
No.
We trusted.
First, we got to where did we start? Where did we start again?
You guys started
Started at one
all the
city.
way back in time. You started at Roru at a port city along the Wasting.
Let me see if I can recall correctly. We were in Rome, or well, at least I was in. Met me at the forest. Then we went to what's that city? That city place.
Claymouth.
And now we're wanted. Then we came here. We did a job for killing someone, and we didn't get anything out of the job. And we died. Then the wizard who sent us took what he was looking for and then left. We have a really bad luck.
Yeah, I can see that.
And now she's asking us to save the world.
Yeah, well, when you put it like that, it does seem just a bit half-cocked.
I'm all for revenge, but I don't want to be the world's protector. Personally, I don't want to do this for a lifetime.
You know, I don't know about a lifetime, but I think in the current time, I think it might be a little bit too late for that.
I mean, look at it this way. We're just going to get back the amethyst for Amelie, and it's from Adrix, who's a total dickhead. That's kind of revenge.
But
I could go with
see,
that.
look, I've spent a lot of my life reading stories, right, and listening to stories and writing stories, frankly, and that's just not the way that these stories work. It's not that clean and cut and dry. We don't just go and get our revenge and find the thing for the dragon and turn it in and save the day, and that's the end of the adventure. No, because we'll find out something while we're on this adventure, and that will lead into the next one, which will lead into the next one, which will lead into the next one, and then the next thing we know, we're the heroes and we've saved the entire world, and or we're dead. Honestly, more likely we're dead.
How about we head back to the tavern and talk about this a little bit more?
I feel like we're walking and talking.
Fine.
You guys are walking and talking, and as you guys are like at about that point in time, you guys would be arriving at the edge of the town again. Not hard to walk through the trail that was left behind by the dragon in the forest. But you guys see nobody's in the streets yet. The giant
I guess the
corpse
dragon
is
just
still out in the
ran
middle.
away.
Yeah.
Everything's okay. You can come out now.
It's dead. You can swarm it like ants. We're not going to do anything
Are the
about
bears still out? Are the bears still out?
it. I think
The
they're
bear.
gone.
Yeah,
The
Bob.
bears
Where
are
would
with
your
me the whole time.
Okay, they've been with Bob the entire time. So the bears are back.
doesn't
And
that
the
mean we
first
just got
person
rid
to
of the
actually
gold
peek
claws?
out is going to be Jessup peeking out of the door of the tavern. Are you sure?
It's all good, Jessup. Yeah. The
Okay.
giant's dead.
I scared it away.
Yeah, you know,
And
if the
it's
people
fled
of this
again.
town are adventurous enough, you've got meat for days.
And
May
Jessup,
I present to you the champions of Hillhome.
No.
Fror the Red.
Actually,
Jeddah the Joker.
I'm the Joker.
What?
The prankster, sorry. I was
I don't know.
Jenna the Joker.
Jenna the
Jenna
Joker's
the
got
Joker.
a ring to it, though. Jenna the Joker's kind of nice. I like that.
Okay, I'll go with it. Jenna the Joker.
Double J.
Reese Rook.
Yeah,
This
just
week-
Rook.
Just-
Yeah, just
And
Rook.
here we have, last but not least, Reese the Horny One.
You actually forget one thing. Bob the
We
Bear.
were here. We protected
Bob
our
the
village.
Builder.
Can we fix?
Bob the
we-
Berserker? Bear
Jessup.
Berserker.
Ooh, okay. Jessup steps out, and kind of clinging to Jessup's side is an 8-year-old girl. Who you have not yet met. But she's looking out wide-eyed and scared. And Jessup starts walking out, kind of looks
Look,
around the
look.
corner and says, "Oh,
Look at
there it
the-
is."
Look,
And leads
look at the
this-
beheaded giant. It's a little bit messy. Not for kids.
And the little girl kind of looks up to you, Bob, a little bit and says, "It's really, really dead?"
It is. We killed it.
And she just
We are the
takes off
champions.
towards it and starts kicking the side of the giant.
I like her.
Yeah.
It's a feisty one.
And
Not scared of anything.
She's gonna
Well-
be rough to parent when she's a teenager.
Is that one of the?
It's very true. Do you remember? Do you
Is
remember
that one of the
Artie?
sisters?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Artie's
yeah.
sister.
The one we were supposed to interview or something.
She's as crazy as he is.
Artie is the one that Jetta accidentally killed in Claymouth, which is for everybody who's on the stream now why they had to run from Claymouth. But
And afterwards, we so happened to have an Artie in the party.
yeah, go figure. It
that's
was by accident. And you know what?
Artie's
You actually have to
back to
blame
guys.
Twitch chat for naming that NPC Artie, so it's not even my fault. It's actually Twitch chat's fault for naming that
Technically,
NPC
he
Artie.
has two names.
What the hell is wrong with you
or-
people?
Are we now finding out that Artie at that time in the chat suggested his own name? And now
Arties
No.
have never done anything wrong. Name one Artie in the history of every Artie that ever existed
Well-
that ever did anything to deserve that.
Here's the thing.
Artagonist
The
have
Artie
the
that
one
very
in
died-
long.
Plymouth.
Here's the thing. The Artie that died didn't do anything wrong either. So you're right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
actually,
sad.
he did.
That's Jet-
Yeah, Artie
Ask
did
Jetta
nothing
what
wrong.
happened.
Yeah, we
Okay, we're a little meta. Let's bring it back in. So, yeah, but she starts kicking at it, and eventually you start seeing people kind of trickle out. One of the people you see kind of trickle out and walk towards you guys is Putter. And Putter walking up to you.
Where were you, Butter, when we needed you? There was a fucking giant here. We had to fight.
Whoa,
Where were
wow,
you?
that's the first
On a
time I've
date-
heard you
on a-
swear.
Date again.
I am not
That's
signing up for that shit.
Oh, you're the one who's
Mhm.
cleaning it up now.
That's
You're the
fine.
cleanup crew.
That's fine by me.
Something strange about you. Usually you'd say things like, "You plebeians, I don't handle dirty
got
work."
laid.
Something
And you're saying all of that.
I find that does tend to loosen one up a
Yeah,
bit.
you're saying all
Inside
of that
check.
as the girl that he's been wooing walks up. Is like, shh, shh. Listen, I'm trying to be better. Better, Putter. Okay?
right.
Keep it up, Putter. Keep it up.
Better for nothing. Yeah. I
He's
know. I
get
look
better at
towards
putting.
You know, Bob, while I'm thinking about it, Bob, next time you have to announce me to a large crowd of people, I do have a stage name that you could use. That would be good, actually. You could be, letting...
Why? Are you not always horny?
Jesus.
I actually prefer the name for the dead.
Oh, you mean your horse? No, I didn't mean your horn. Sorry. I meant something else.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Like sexually.
I know, thank
have-
you.
Even more mansplained it.
And-
The Liar Bird. The Liar Bird is my stage name. So if you ever have to
sorry.
announce me loudly to a large crowd of
So
people like
you're a
that.
liar.
I will.
No, not
The-
like
the
the
lying bird.
instrument. No,
Mm.
Lyre, the instrument, not the.
I will try
What's
to
the bird
Adjective.
part about? What's the
You
bird
say it
part
again.
about?
Jessup is going to walk up to you guys and say,
Spell it.
I think it would be appropriate to tell you drinks are on the house.
Oh well.
Thank
That's
you.
a
Obvious.
given.
Food.
Jessup.
And
milk,
sleep.
please.
And milk. And
Milk.
you can have, you said that Adrix is gone,
Unfortunately, yes.
then you can have his level.
What?
All of it.
All of it. I don't care what you do with it. That's just, we'll take care of this thing.
Has he been staying here for long? We need some information about him. He has kind of screwed us over, and we need to locate him.
Well, I will
Try
ask
anything
you
you
mind.
The stuff?
Anything you know would help.
I will ask, first of all, seeing as I'm giving you that floor, I do need to pay for... I should be paid for cleaning up after him, honestly. And certainly
Oh,
Elsa
sure, no worries.
is actually what it should be is Elsa needs to be paid for cleaning up after him, because let's be real, I could try, but she's going to do better than me anyway. What I would like.
How many
Like-
amethysts are in the bag?
Oh, there's a
Oh, no,
lot.
we will clean up for you. It's no problem.
No,
I will
sorry.
give him
No, we'll
an
just give you
amethyst.
We don't need it.
Here, Jessup. I think this will cover all of the troubles that Adrix had.
For the next 2 years.
Are you sure?
We're not
I was just gonna
cleaning
ask for
this up.
10 gold.
No. Please, Adrix has
You
given you a lot of trouble, so keep
Put a-
it.
Put a plaque on the outside of the building by the front door with our names on it.
Yeah, I'll get Doga on that
I
right now.
want-
That's
no,
amazing.
please, no.
I want a drink named after me.
I will do that.
Um,
Fra the Dead. What kind of drink
No,
should
just
that
Fra.
be? The
Fra.
Fra.
Average one,
The
average
Fra.
gem is 100 GP. But
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying it.
Can we rename the upstairs to the Lyrebird Suite?
That's
That's
good.
kind of nice, right?
That's
Yeah,
good.
you
Okay,
can
so
have
you
that
guys are
one.
gonna take the Lyrebird suite. I'm gonna go tell Elsa. Can you give
Oh, I
us
like
like
that.
4 hours to get that level set up for you?
Absolutely.
Can we decorate it?
Or
Wait.
actually, no.
Let's not go crazy. We don't live
Wait.
here.
Before you go decorating stuff, please don't touch the second floor. We need to do some investigating.
Oh,
Oh,
Elsa's
yeah.
gonna want to be there for that.
Can I choose
Just-
the drink?
Should be there for that,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. And you start to see that the townspeople are starting to gather around the corpse of this dragon, and some of the there's younger ones
giant.
they're just taking sticks and they're just kind of poking at it. One teenager has actually gone to the head and looked at it and just started retching beside it. There
What
and
a
then
lovely guy.
but
Yeah,
you
I
see
think we
a
should help
gathering of a few
clean it up,
people,
or-
including Putter, who are all just kind of chatting and discussing what they could potentially do to deal with this massive corpse. Talking about collecting saws and axes to try to make it up, cut it up into smaller chunks that could be transported, and things like that.
Butter, save a rib for me. I want to turn it into a bow.
Just don't explode it from the inside out. The chunks will fly all over everything and hit people and break stuff.
Oh,
Don't do
that's
that.
brilliant.
Maybe I can.
No, it's
moonbeam
not.
it
It's a bad
there.
idea. Don't blow it up.
Wait, and then he starts turning to all the other townspeople. He's just, wait a second.
I'm an
guys.
Oregonian. I promise you it's not going to work. Don't blow it up.
Are you speaking from experience, Reese?
Yeah.
And he
It
starts
sounds awfully specific.
Mm-hmm.
And Putter starts chatting very excitedly with the group. If you guys want to hear, you could go and step in. But otherwise,
Hell yeah.
there's just something. Okay,
Yeah,
so Reese-
sure. I'm
So it's like,
making
so
sure.
let's be real. You said the mine isn't doing all that well. We have a fucking giant here, and
Uh-huh.
people
What's
could
this
come to see a giant.
You're going to display its corpse? I like this.
Yeah, but
Something
isn't it
like
gonna
that.
rot or something?
It is
Yeah.
the last one, by
I
the
have
way.
something that
The
can fix
last
that.
giant.
Would,
Oh,
would-
right. Yeah, Jetta, you have one.
Putter
You
turns
have,
to you,
you
Jessica.
have that spell.
Would that be permanent?
Not permanent, but
No,
it would give
well,
you
then-
a week and we could always recast it.
Oh, well, that would
If
definitely
we're in
help.
town.
Do you guys have a taxidermist in town? Well, yeah, we've got one who likes to do
Going
antlers.
to
Like,
stuff it.
and they just are starting to have this large conversation about potentially making the Giant and Hill Home Museum or something along those lines.
There is
Um,
one thing I want to ask, though. I
Who are
want
you
to
asking?
keep all of you, regarding the giant.
Okay.
I want the head. I need it.
No,
Wait,
they
didn't the
need
dragon-
it.
Didn't the dragon eat the head?
I thought just
No, he
toss
didn't eat
off.
it. He just tossed it
Rip.
aside. Or she just tossed it aside.
Oh.
So that might be the biggest selling feature, though. What do you need the
I
head
need
for?
it for my own problems.
What?
Do you need the whole head, or you just need the stuff on the inside?
The whole head. I need it.
Are you sure?
It's for a good
Roll
reason.
persuasion check with advantage.
Wait, Jeddah, can
I
you
mean,
like talk to the dead?
Normally I can, but
Aw.
not today.
Maybe we
5
should
out of
save the
3.
head and-
Oh my god.
Oh. Hey, would that nat one be considered as a
No, because it
relation
wasn't
thing?
used, unfortunately. Oh, I rolled like shit too. So it's like they hem and haw and just like Um, when you're done with it, could you bring it back?
No, it's gonna stay gone. Sorry.
I'm sorry, it's gonna do what now?
It's gonna stay gone. I need this head.
I don't think it's anybody's
Then let's
May I
take a
propose a
hang on.
solution?
Can we take a mold of it? Right?
That's what I was gonna propose. Yeah,
A mold.
make a model
Sure.
of it.
Yeah. Make a model, but give
Okay.
me the real one.
Do any of you guys
If you
have like access to clay or something like that? And Putter's now organizing this. One of the other guys is like, yeah, we're in Wesmia. We got access to clay. And they're just kind of carry on.
Yeah, just dig in the ground a few feet. I'm sure you'll find some.
I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and start
if-
casting gentle repose on the body.
The
If Rar is
parts of
getting
it
the
that don't
head,
have
can I
bear
get a
claws.
rib?
And now, if you want, so if you want to try and if anybody wants to try to extricate the rib, roll me a. Well, I would accept it as a medicine check, or a
I'll do
survival.
it.
Your
Oh,
choice.
I'm good at that.
Can I just break it with my strength?
I need a tool. I need a rib to make into a bow.
Hold on, I'll help you.
Maybe we can interrogate it first tomorrow, guys.
Sure.
Ask the giant what he wants to do.
All right, roll for me
Medicine check with
yeah, it's
help
a-
from Far.
Oh, there's that 21.
Oh,
Nice.
donation! Donation.
Love it. Love it. It is now 65. Gotta love it.
Hey.
Hold on. I'd like to swing my axe at the bone to test how strong it is.
Yeah, and that's what you do is you actually kind of use the axe to kind of find the weak spot towards the place where it actually
No, I just
Where
want to
it
test.
gets our-
I'm not finding a weak spot. I'm actually trying
Okay.
to find the hardest spot.
okay, you find the hardest spot. And you'll be able to do that with the blunt end of your axe or the sharp end of your axe
To break it or to test it?
to test it.
Sharp end.
Okay. So you are now nicking into this giant bone with your axe that Rook wants for a bow.
Wait! Don't,
No. I'm
don't
not.
nick it.
No, it's like a different kind of like rib is what I mean.
Oh, a
Yeah.
different. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense then. Okay, so yes, you are able to locate the weak spot very comfortably, and
No,
you
no.
can actually see.
I'm looking for the hardest spot is what I mean.
Ah,
Like I'm
okay.
testing its strength.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You go. What are you trying to accomplish with it?
I'm trying to see if it's strong enough to make into a weapon.
Oh. Okay. Roll strength check or an attack.
Strength or-
Actually, roll an attack on it. Yeah, it seems like it could be used for not. I mean, it could potentially be carved, but it also sounds like it's slightly hollow, and so it wouldn't be good for making sharp implements with. But you could use it as a bludgeoning instrument. You could basically turn it into the equivalent of a great club if you wanted to.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna put my axe away, grab a good hold of like the tip, and then the other one at like the width of it, and just break it off.
Sure, and it snaps off at the just shy of the vertebral point, and you actually get the whole bumpy part that kind of sits inside the vertebrae as well with it, Friar and Rook. And I'm gonna say with all of these checks, you would be able to get all of those ribs that you want, and they would likely
Nice.
come full and just separate from the tissue that's inside.
This will make into a great hammer.
Oh, you're thinking of making a hammer off the rib. That's
Yes.
pretty clever. Yeah.
Bones have always been a old orc material for weapons.
That's good to know. Do they use bones for bows as well?
Yes,
So it's possible.
very
All
possible.
right. Who in town can make bows? Is there a bowyer among you guys?
There's a dwarf.
And Doga, the dwarf, happens to be kind of nearby. She's just to say, "I'm sorry, lass, but I only make stuff out of metal. Your best bet for a bowyer is probably either going to be in a larger city like Plymouth, or perhaps you'd have to go probably a bit further afield."
I walk towards her and I drop the bow in front of her.
So turn this into a hammer.
I thank you for giving me the chance, but this is not metal, and I'm not going to be able to do much more than burn it.
You can try.
Well, can't
As
you,
much as
like,
it's-
attach something metal onto the bone or something?
Like
Crit-
the shaft.
And she kind of heaves. Jesus. And she kind of heaves it up a little bit, and it's like twice the height of her. She's like, I don't know what I can do. How long do I have to work on it?
Until further notice.
How
Oh.
long will it take?
Well, certainly more than a day, if that's what you're hoping for. I'm thinking I'll have to get some stuff from the mountainside. Likely a week. You got rid of all of those frog folk, right?
Well,
Yeah, they're probably only a week. Elven day, I should say.
An 11 day. All right. That sounds good, I guess. We can stay in town for some time.
Or if you have to go, then it'll still be here when you get back. The museum won't be set up yet, but
that's fine. I don't need to head now, so I still need it, but not now. You could prepare that for me too.
well, that would. I'm sure that Putter would. Is he going with you,
No, I don't
or is
think
he
he
here?
wants.
He's here to stay, hey? All right, fine, fine. If you need to talk, to us, I suppose. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'll get something set up for you. I don't know if it's gonna be what you want, but I'll try. Yeah, I'll
I'm
try.
sure
And
you'll
she
be
just kind of walks with this bone that's like extends out from her 6 feet either direction almost, and just like bam up against a fence post, like shite, and just keeps on going.
A week, huh? Are we sure we want to spend that much time in town?
Well, we could always still go do what we need to do and then come back.
That's true. Well, with that out of the way, why don't we check out the Lyrebird Suite?
All right.
Sounds wonderful.
So you guys step into the tavern then. Is there anybody who's not going in the tavern? I guess I should just quickly check on that.
I was still there.
You're still outside?
No, I was already still inside.
Okay.
They went out to dismember a giant, but it's not my
Okay.
cup of tea.
So what were you doing inside the tavern? Were you already in the
Eating.
Lyrebird Suite? You were eating. Okay, fair enough.
Eating, of course.
Okay. And yeah, Jess, as you guys, Bob, while you were in there, you'll notice that the number of the people, including Putter, and a number of the townsfolk kind of filter in to the tavern and start taking up tables. This is the most you've seen people in this building in quite some time. Actually, the entire time you've been in town, there's never been more than 3 or 4 people in here. Right now, there's 8 and 9, and it's already starting to get a little bit crowded when the rest of your party also walks back in as well. And as they
Nothing more
walk
than
back
it.
in, one of the other guys from the other table says, "Hey!" And just everybody cheers. You guys, as you gives you a great big cheer and a shout as you guys step in.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, you
This is
You
the
don't-
first
We
time
did,
I've ever
we
been
did
cheered
save the
for,
town
not
from a giant and a dragon.
pitchfork that.
That's true.
I've got to put on a performance here tonight.
And Jessup
That would be
says,
cool to see.
"That's right. Who
I'll
says
make
you sing?"
so much money. Oh, darling, I sing, I dance, I play.
I won't be forewarned. This is Hillhome. You might not make a lot of coin, but you'll make a lot of friends, so long as you sing well.
Oh, maybe make some copper anyway.
Copper is good too. Pays for the drinks. What did you want your drink to be, by the way?
Well, personally, I don't drink too much, but I do have this drink back home that I loved it very much and cherished. Doesn't have a name, but it is, if I remember correctly, 2 parts vodka, 3 parts scotch, 1 part whiskey, and some tequila.
So, goblin piss.
Excuse me?
Well, we have a drink like that. It's called goblin piss.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry, I could rename it if you want.
I mean, you could flourish red. You could probably
Flourish
add some
death
hot
cocktail.
sauce
Ooh.
Yeah, just put your hottest sauce.
and tomatoes.
No,
Tomatoes,
no, no.
crushed tomatoes.
So like
I hate
bloody.
tomato.
All right.
I don't.
I love it.
All right. I got it. And he starts
Blood,
working behind
bloody
the counter.
frar.
bloody
So he starts working
It
behind the
ain't called
counter with
Frar the dead for no reason.
yeah.
I have seen death.
And so are you guys going up?
And you will too.
That's the
You
slogan
guys
for the
are
fucking
a
thing.
marketing genius. Acquisitions Incorporated got nothing on you. Okay, so
sweat.
all right. So who is going up to the Lyrebird suite?
I'll go.
I'll go too.
I'm gonna go eat with Bob. I'm gonna
Alright.
order something that is filling but has no meat.
All right, and the
Wait,
person who's
The
serving you,
Lyrebird suite. The Lyrebird suite is the third floor or the second floor?
it's the second floor.
Oh, I'm going.
Detective squad again.
Reese, where are you going?
Yes.
Some song, Reese.
What time is it right now? And it's like
It's
crowded.
it's the dinner hour for the most part.
Oh hell yeah! I'm putting on a show.
All right. So, with which tool are you using for this show? What kind of a show would you be doing today? Knowing.
Well, he's got his lyre. He's got a flute on him as well.
You're not gonna tell me that Reese is gonna go like Superman, like in and out quickly of an like a cupboard, and suddenly comes out with this just costume.
Do I have? No, you know what? I will, in fact, do that exact thing. Damn it. I have a costume.
You have like a disguise. For
And
me.
I'll figure out what it looks like and let you know. But it's definitely really fucking flamboyant.
All
Still
right.
in his human disguise.
Okay.
I think he's gonna kind of alternate between flute and lyre. With the flute, obviously he's fluting, so he can't sing along. So that's when he does all of his dancing and stuff.
Halfway
so
through,
Jessup-
I applaud him and I lift him up on my shoulder so that the whole crowd he has like a higher podium and everybody's cheering for him.
All right. So before this all happens, Jessup is gonna ask, kind of sidle up to you as you come out in your costume, like, "Oh, you're, do I just announce you as Reese?"
Oh no, darling, no. I am the lyrebird. That's why it's
Okay.
the lyrebird suite.
Oh, right, of course, that makes sense. Okay, fair. So, and then he turns to kind of gets to the front bar and says, hey, that's the Lyrebird.
Oh my god.
And the people around the table in this podunk town
Lyrebird,
like 36.
Lyrebird.
Lyrebird.
Well,
Lyrebird. Roll me a performance check, Lyrebird.
I sure did, and it's a 26.
Nice. And so with it, like very quickly with your flamboyant, they're all very off put by your flamboyance to begin with. They're all wearing like mine dust covered, soot filled cloaks and tunics. And
But
then
you know
there's
what?
this
That's
Colorful
okay
thing
though.
they've ever seen.
He
gaudy
knows,
concoction that
he
you
knows the songs that these people sing. He knows the songs that the people that just finished their 9 to 5 in the mines and they're going down for a drink at the pub afterwards. Like he knows their music, so he's singing their songs.
And so they're singing sometimes particularly well. One person is actually pretty good at harmonizing. The rest of them are all this weird, guttural, rhythmic chant alongside you. But they hear you and you are leading them on and they're cheering through this. Bob and Frar, you are as part of this as you would like to be. But what is there anything in particular you would like to be doing while
halfway through when everybody is like really cheering and singing, of course I will pick him up and carry him on my shoulders.
I will
Love
pick up
that.
Bob and carry both of them on my shoulders.
Oh, good. I don't know if the ceiling's quite high enough for that. I'm gonna hit a chandelier. Ow!
It's a manual elevating stage.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'm gonna get you to roll a strength check for me, Frog.
Athletics check.
Yeah, I'm good for it.
Okay, who
Yeah,
can
Nice.
make
Yeah,
some-
this is a great
who
show
has a
that's
smoke
happening right
bomb?
here.
We need to have some smokes getting.
Meanwhile, upstairs with all of this ruckus happening, Rook and Jeddah, you are the first, and Elsa actually follows you up. So to be clear, just for the people who are actually on the main level, Elsa's not actually serving everybody down there. There's a teenager that's serving down there, probably around 13 or 14 years of age, just bringing all of the drinks to the tables and all the food to the tables. Kind of gets bumped by somebody and gets it spilt all over. I was like, and just carries on. But that's who's serving you down on the main level. Elsa's upstairs with Rook and Jeddah. And she's just kind of leaning up against the door frame as you guys step in to look at the space.
You wanna come inside with us, Elsa? Take a look around.
I just want to take stock of what I'm gonna have to do. That's all.
All right. Do you mind if we check the shelves for anything?
Oh no, of course. Idiot left it behind. It's his own fault.
All right. We just hope that he left anything of value behind. That might
Well.
point to where his whereabouts are.
Couldn't hurt but try.
So, are you pretty good at investigating, Rook?
I can try, yeah. I mean, we can help each other, right?
Yeah, I'm bad at that stuff, so I have a spell that can help you.
Oh.
I will
That'd be
give
grand.
you the fox's cunning.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, let me make sure that's right. Yeah, that is. So you have advantage on intelligence checks, and I have to use a third level spell.
Okay,
for
hang
that,
on.
so
Before
roll
you
a
do
second.
that, I'm gonna ask you to check to post that for me, please.
Yes.
I feel smarter now. Thanks, Jeddah.
Okay, this is. Okay. Okay. You go to cast this spell, and it doesn't feel as though it's left your hand the way you would anticipate. It feels weak. It does connect. Rook, you do actually feel your understanding, and like suddenly your wits are sharper as you're trying to take in your surroundings. But Jeddah, you don't feel like this is going to hold for as long as you want it to. It's weaker.
Thanks, Jeddah.
Yeah, no problem.
And I go to the shelves, using my mage hand to reach shelves that I can't reach or under corners and stuff.
All right,
Investigating
go ahead and roll
for stuff.
investigation check with advantage.
Yeah, let's go. Come on. Donation time.
17 is
No.
pretty good. So with a 17, what you're going to see in this space, you do get into a wardrobe that he's got set up, and it's got a variety of different clothing, morning wear, night wear, all very much unsullied and unsoiled, very, very clean, very well threaded and very well sewn. It almost looks as though it hasn't been worn yet. You know you've seen him wear this one piece before. It just looks like it's fresh off the hanger. You look towards the hello there, checkers.
Yeah,
You look towards the bedded area, and you kind of turn over the
Sorry.
you turn over the mattress and the shelves, or mattress and the sheets, and there's nothing untoward in there. So eventually you realize, well, everything that's in here is largely just the accommodations of an eccentric person. And then make your way into the study area, where you start looking through the books that are left on the shelves. And many of the books, as you kind of start going through them, as you open up one of them, like some of them don't have names on the spines, or you just open it up, and it is drivel. It's a fiction, a novel of some sort, and then then you go to another one, and it looks like, although they look like really old, tattered, potentially incredibly important pieces of scholarly work, they're basically graphic novels from time to time too. They're just nothing of extra import. It was all for show. And so when you get to the desk that he'd been working at, and remember that as no, you weren't there actually. Who was all in the room when or were you there when he dipped out?
We
I
weren't
think it
there.
was just Reese. Yeah.
It was just Bob and Reese, right? So okay, so you don't really know this then very much, but what you do see on the desktop is this cloth that was laid out, and a variety of other, like a quill and an ink pot and some other things, but there's not too much in here that gives way to anything until you get to a top drawer of the desk, where you pull it out, and kind of looking around, feeling through it, you feel it's hollow. You hear that it's hollow, so you lift something up, and what you see in there is a a letter of some sort, and with it a pouch that has that jingles with coin. And so you pull the jingling out, and you pull the letter out, and looking at it, looking inside the pouch, you see platinum.
How many?
Let's roll me let's have some fun with this. Roll me 5d20. Okay, it's actually 97. 97
God
platinum.
damn, this guy is loaded. All
And
right.
you open up the
I am
scroll.
getting it.
Do you speak Sylvan?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Jetta?
Jetta, do you speak Sylvan?
No, I wouldn't recognize it.
You recognize the characters of the script, but you don't recognize what words it's producing. Because you both speak Elvish, you recognize the characters, but you don't recognize what it's saying. It's confusing.
Well,
This is
we would
weird.
probably assume that Bob does, just because the nature thing.
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
mean, this letter was hidden away, so it might be important. Also, look, there's 97 platinum in it, too.
Cha-ching!
All right. And it's right there that we are going to end today's session, with you discovering
no.
a letter and some platinum. You are now chock full in your pockets with amethyst, and are getting a name draped after you and a floor of a hotel named after you.
And a drink.
After a
We're
fashion.
balling, guys. We're balling.
Yeah,
You're
things have
starting to
changed for
turn
these
things
nuts.
around.
Let's see how long it will take before we have spent or lost everything again.
Don't jinx it, guys.
Oh my gosh. All right, so first of all, big thanks again to Corsair's Cove for the raid that happened earlier on today. I'll do another quick shout out there. That was really nice to see you bump in here. Appreciate it. Also say big thanks to all of those who are new followers here today. Thank you very much for that. We are also quick announcements for everything else that happens on the guild later on today at 7:30 UTC. Adventures in Ala Inn, where caffeine is. I don't know why I can't figure that out. Caffeine is going to DM that one, and that is apparently it's called Necromancy for Dummies. And so that's a thing. Tuesday we come back at the 1 p.m. UTC for the Witchlight campaign, where they are currently trying to figure out what they're going to do now that they've gotten rid of a Darkling swarm in the home of a hag. No idea what's going to happen after that. Legend of Zelda Echoes carries on with DM Verod on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. And then we're back here with the Roll for Wishes campaign, session 2, where they're trying to convince griffins to join an animal sanctuary. And we're raising money for the Make-A-Wish International. You can see the bar of our progress up there too. Okay, so feel free to throw some coin at that to help make some wishes come true. And yeah, Corsair's Cove. So nice that you were in here to have you. That we don't. We've been able to raid you a few times. I thank you very much for the return raid. It's actually quite nice that we have this kind of a community with us. If you guys have an opportunity, I do believe later on. Sky, are you running out a campaign later on today too?
Yeah. I will be. It will be in Dutch though, but I will be playing Twitch chat plays D&D with the Dutch crowd on Twitch tonight.
Awesome.
In 4 hours from now.
So I'll
On
put that one up
Dutch
here for you as well. Dutch Dungeons is another place that you could go check them out as well. That's Twitch
And of course,
chat plays.
Inspired by the great GM Workshop.
Yes. And
But the
GM
Dutch
Workshop has had a heck of a week. I don't know if you guys know, but he has somewhere in the neighborhood of a raid of somewhere in the neighborhood of like 2,400 people on Sunday, which is fantastic for him. But he also raided us later on this week, and so we'll do all the shout outs because we love each other, and it's awesome stuff that we do here with the D&D stuff. So with that, I am also going to orchestrate a rave to Arrow 4, I think. That seemed they are highly energetic when they're healthy. They were a little bit down last week, so we'll enjoy them. They're doing D&D meets CK2 is the game that they're doing right now. So we'll go and join them. But I'm going to say thank you to all of you very much for joining us today. Take care of each other. Love each other. Peace out.